Hey guys, and welcome back to Clannad. So, it's April 20th, Sunday, so let's get right into it. It's Sunday. I leave the house before noon, same as on a weekday, quietly slipping past the body of my slumbering old man. Last night, the rain got into the house, but the floor is already dry. The weather's nice today. Well then, what should I do? I don't need to think too hard about this. I already know I'm going to spend it inside Sunohara's room. Today's weather is good, but that's of no concern to me. I'm on the street heading toward the dormitory. Hey, you there! I'm talking to you. Me? As I turn around, I see a young man beckoning me. Please, come here a minute. I guess? Let's go. Up ahead was an automobile. Beside it, a man wearing a helmet and work clothes. A truck was also stopped nearby. Was there an accident? Over here, come and take a look. The young man pointed at the hood of the car. Taking a closer look, there was clearly a round dent. And if you look up ahead, there's that worker over there. And looking up ahead, there was a ladder propped up against the streetlight. It looks like it's undergoing repairs. No matter how many times you say it, that dent doesn't look like it was caused by a dropped tool. But suppose it was. I wouldn't try to act like I were hiding it. Maybe you dropped something and didn't notice. Hey, don't you think so? The man turned to me. This man was working right above my car. He insists that nothing fell, but because something did, my hood's been dented like this. Tell us which story makes more sense. Who knows? What do you mean, who knows? Are you a man with no sense either? I give up. To be honest, I couldn't care less. It would be better if I didn't get dragged into this. Then call your company, explain what happened. I've got nothing to do with the situation. I think this is a scene for, Fuko's route. So, we'll actually just kind of do this later on, like in another playthrough. So we're gonna run off. Without saying anything, I left that place. They didn't call out after me. I guess they didn't notice. I enter the room. Sunohara is still in bed, sleeping. Wake up, Sunohara, you have a guest. I'm here at last. The only response I get is his continued snoring. It seems he's fast asleep. He probably went to bed late again. I'm going to play a prank on you if you don't wake up. I hear some bustling sounds in the corridor. It seems that the rugby club members are going to practice. I notice a large pile of his clothes on the floor. One by one, I tie each piece of clothing together by the sleeves. I tied the end of that makeshift rope to Sunohara's foot. I take the other end, and I go out into the corridor. Oh God, what are we doing? Next door, a rugby club member comes out of his room. Hey, I speak to him. Let's play tug of war. Tug of war? Yeah, your opponent is Sunohara. He wants to have a man-to-man fight with a tough guy like you. A battle of strength, huh? He sure has some guts. Alright, this will be a good warm-up. I accept his challenge. Alright, hold this. I hand him my end of the rope. Alright, go ahead whenever you're ready. The rope extends into Sunohara's room. Yeah, are you ready, Sunohara? Let's go! Go! Huh? The rugby club player runs across the corridor, pulling the clothes with him. And then... This is the best scene ever. Sunohara skids across the floor on his back. That almost killed me! You're exaggerating again. Try to imagine yourself waking up, screaming across the floor at high speed. If I were older, there's no doubt my heart would have stopped. Don't worry, you're still young. So wasn't that incredible? That was too intense. Damn, I was planning on sleeping all day since it's Sunday. It's hard to believe you're a student with your messed up biological clock. Well, what do you want? Why do you wake me up so early? Oh, nothing really. We are such a good friend, apparently. So, can I go back to bed now? Sure, but I'll just pull another prank. Anyway, try to go back to sleep. I'll have lots of fun while you're passed out. I definitely won't. Oh, really? My eyes hurt! You can wink at least. I lie down on the floor and start to read a book. This is the only thing I can do while I'm here. I open the book I'm holding and realize that it's a manga I haven't seen before. Nope, I was wrong. It's actually a choose-your-own-story book. Kinda like Goosebumps. It's the kind of book where you have to make choices which determine the page you're supposed to read next. Let's try to play it. Sunohara is sleepless most of the time because I'm there. Game book. This is the Heartfelt Academy. You are the protagonist and a senior high school student, and your goal is to claim the heart of Madonna Yukino of the Academy. Well then, let's enjoy! I wait by the school gate, and there arrives Madonna Yukino of the Academy. Let's confess. Yukino-san, I love you! I hate you! You've been rejected. Game over. Retry. Sure. Okay. So, let's see her off. It's lunch break. Yukino-san is eating lunch at the school cafeteria. Watch her. It's finally after school. Yukino-san, we'll be going home now. Confess. Yukino-san, I have always liked you, you boldly confess. Yukino-san bit you. Embrace her. You were eaten just like that. Okay, we're gonna stop now, because that's weird. I'll go search for another book to read. It's a day off after all, so I'll spend my time not doing anything. Okay, well, since we're not even 10 minutes in, I guess I can go through this day too. Monday. I suddenly feel weak. I'm going to have another boring lesson, which I can't refuse. Once the school term ends, will I even have the will to work? Will I actually graduate? I don't really think that's going to happen. Still, I think that it's convenient that I can just attend class without worrying about the future. Continuing to work in order to eat. I don't think I'd be able to forgive myself for living a pathetic life like that. Just thinking about it makes me shiver. But I only need to endure one more year of this. I glance at the clock. It's still early, enough time to make it to first period. Not that I really feel like going. Let's get out of bed. It's meaningless. These depressing thoughts force me awake. If I just lie here, it'll only get worse. Guess I'd better get moving. Shaking off those heavy thoughts, I lift myself out of bed. Third period is already over, yet Sunohara hasn't shown up yet. I'm really bored. When Sunohara's not here, I can't relieve my stress. I leave the room for a change of scenery. Can we go to the library, please? Ugh, guess I'll go buy some juice. The school cafeteria is deserted. I buy an 80 yen juice from the vending machine and drink it as I head back to class. Of course, eating or drinking in the hallway is prohibited, so if a teacher sees me, I'll be in trouble. I finish the juice as I enter. I toss the empty carton into the trash and head up to my seat. Ugh. Will you please just let me go to the library? Oh my god. It's already lunch break, yet Sunohara isn't here. Not again. Are you kidding? Come on! As fifth period comes to an end, Sunohara finally appears. You're in a good mood today. That's because I slept in! Well, what do we have for sixth period? Just look around and you'll figure it out. The girls have already left the classroom, transforming it into a boys' changing room. Sixth period is Phi-Ed, and it's soccer today. Instead of actually teaching anything, the instructor has us play a match. He does it so we feel like we're getting a break from studying. Even though I never bother to play, he doesn't say a word. It all feels like a throwaway baseball match. Alright, a hat trick! Only the voice of the former soccer club member echoes enthusiastically. Let's go home! You sure have a wonderful school life. You only go through this phase once in your life. Or phase of your life once, so enjoy it while you can. Of course, that's why I enjoy myself wherever I go. I don't have any money. There'll be someone at the game center. That again. If only the rugby members weren't around, it would be heaven. In the end, I hang out with them. All I end up doing is watching Sunohara's game. I'd rather not play on someone else's tab. Even so, it kept me from being bored, so it was worth it. And here we go into the illusionary world, which is like some of my favorite parts of this game. The girl created my body from junk. A piece fell off and stabbed the dead grass in the giant field, as if it were a corpse. Many corpses. Corpses of many different things. I trembled at the thought of it. That's what my body was. But this body was built entirely with this junk. I couldn't call my shaking arm. If so, that means she could create a doll with a will of its own, just like me. There was plenty of junk around if you bothered to look. As I'm sure she did for me, I begin to collect pieces of junk with my small body. The girl looks at me curiously. I put the junk together before her eyes. However, even if tightly assembled, it would come apart. The girl did the same, as if she finally understood my intention. This time it worked. She points at my body. Do you want a new body? I crossed my arms to mention that I was fine with my body. A friend? Do you want a friend? That's not really it. I just thought that if we could create another like myself, we could probably have more fun. Well, the end result would be the same, so I nod. That's right. Being alone is sad, isn't it? I'm sorry. That was not what I meant. However, I could only look up at the girl's face. It might be impossible. Nevertheless, do you want to try? I nod. Then let me try. The girl began to assemble the junk. We were a bit short on parts, so we went outside and searched for more. How many trips have we made? Thinking about it, I began to understand. Making my body must have been just as difficult. We went late into the day looking for junk. Standing on top of the hill, we looked over the horizon. The view of the ground continued on forever, to the far-off distance. I wonder what lies at the end. I compare myself with the grass around me. I couldn't figure it out with this small body. Look! When I turned towards her voice, I see she was holding a lone animal to her chest. Something other than us lives in this world. It had fluffy white fur and 2 winding horns next to its ears. I didn't like the sight of it. Just like a person, though I'm not a person myself, I won't get along with it. In the first place, we didn't really care about it at all. Even then, the girl liked touching it. After picking it up, she pats its head and stomach. As she's doing that, she slowly climbed the hill. I follow after her. When we passed the hill, a group of these animals had formed. They vary in shape and sizes, but are all the same kind of creature. The girl put down the one she has in her arms. It doesn't look back, walking off and leaving us. I look at them and think, these things don't have a heart. All they do is exist. But even if it doesn't become attached to her, she just wasn't going to turn her back on the poor thing. Besides these things, she was the only living thing in this world. That's why the girl wanted to be able to touch the things she liked. As I watched them, the animals start to ruthlessly bite the flowers on the ground. If this sort of thing continues, this greenery will be destroyed. No matter how beautiful they are, no one would find this sort of situation amusing. I put the junk I was holding down onto the ground and drive away the animals by cutting through them. They show no resistance and scatter, only to begin eating the grass again. It was a futile move. "What's wrong? Are you angry?" The girl's voice came from behind. "No, it's just sad." "You want to be patted on the head?" "Well, sure, I'd like that, but—" I looked closely at the ground that had been mauled. She thought nothing of the damage that had been laid waste here. It is sad and lonely. She crouches down and brushes my head. I sort of understood. "It can't be helped. There's nothing we can do about it." That's what she said. Yeah, it's something that doesn't change. That's all I could think of that. Alright guys, well, even though it hasn't exactly been 20 minutes, we're gonna end this episode here because we've gone through 2 days already in this game. So, we haven't really been able to talk with Kotomi again because it just does not give us the option to. I don't know why. It's not giving us any options to go to the library during the day, which is upsetting. But either way, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to become part of the legacy today. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, bye-bye!